All right, I'm doing this. Hi guys, my name is Laila and I'm sharing with you my why as to why I've decided to become a nutrition therapist, a holistic nutrition therapist, and why I decided to go with NTA, Nutrition Therapy Association. Now I'm going to give you a quick update on my background right now and just share with you where I was, how it happened, and what led light to come to today as to why I'm doing this certification now. So here it goes. So I'm a lifestyle and wedding wellness coach, and I'm also a math coach. I call myself the math astronaut, and I also call myself the lifestyle and wedding wellness coach right there. I'm also a podcaster of Sweating for the Wedding podcast, and I love weddings, I love space, and I love math and health and fitness. I just love those areas very much. And my goal into health and wellness really started because I'll just say this right now, I wanted to become an astronaut. Since third grade, I knew I wanted to become an astronaut. Apollo 13, the video, did it for me. And I was always into health and wellness. Here are my notes, I'm looking down. But I never dived into nutrition. I always looked at people working out, doing these intensive trainings and stuff. You know, how does an astronaut get ready for space? How do they condition themselves? And I thought, you know, what I burned was canceled with what I ate. Kind of like an equation. If I eat this, subtracted by this much workouts, it equals to 0 and more. And just like an engineer, I did that. And so I focused on that route a lot for many years. And for 8 years, I was doing that when I was really diving into health and wellness and fitness, just for myself. Just fitness, no nutrition. And I worked at NASA as a co-op engineer. I always was looking at what the astronauts were doing and getting their advice, like scuba certification, pilot certification, you know, what kind of sports should I do type of thing, but never again, no nutrition. So then it wasn't until 2012, while I was in grad school, that I found out my uncle had brain cancer. And in my family, everyone in my family knew that Laila was always into health and wellness. She was always into fitness. So while my uncle was going through chemo, people started asking me, what can your uncle eat? What can your uncle take to help overcompensate the chemo and his lack of appetite? So I kind of was that person in my family where people piggybacked off of me when I shared them something cool. They would implement it, like quinoa, zucchini noodles, what is gluten-free, all those things. And I loved it. I really did. And, you know, but when I learned that from what I was working on myself, that was the first time where I was actually helping someone else in their health and wellness, just as a side thing. And I noticed that level of response, I started to really gravitate towards that because there was a need. And I was really happy to support that need. Unfortunately, my uncle passed away from cancer 2 years later. And we call it a tumor, but in my book, it was cancer because it caused his death. And so being that go-to person really resonated with me a lot. And later on, I kind of put that on the side, and I was focusing again on fitness. And then I got engaged with my best friend from Purdue, where I went to school, Boiler Up. And I really, really liked planning my wedding. It was so much fun. I planned out, I'm Persian, so we had a big, fat Persian destination wedding. And it was great. Persian American destination wedding. But then it came to the day I found out that I couldn't fit in my wedding dress. So the time that I got my wedding dress to the time I picked up my wedding dress, purchased and picked it up, I'd gained weight. And I was working out a lot. And that was a wake-up call for me because I had known my family history of cancer, diabetes, and tumors, that I didn't want to do anything during the phase of my wedding to jeopardize my health. So I looked up wedding wellness coaches and I couldn't find anybody. And I knew my wedding was 4 months away, so I decided to say, you know what? This is like going to space. I'm gonna coach myself. I'm gonna coach myself to get slimmed down for the gown, the healthy and fit way, without it affecting my thyroid, my hormones, because I know, and some of you guys may know this, brides, they look great, but then after the wedding, boom, they gain 20 pounds or they don't look the same. It's horrible. And I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to experience that. I wanted to be Wedding Fit Forever, which is the name of my academy. And, but I saw a gap in the market, and that was there's not a lot of wedding wellness coaches in this industry. And I might as well just really be specialized in this, as well as helping non-brides and grooms. So a very goal-based coaching business for health and wellness. So I started my business right after my wedding. I started coaching brides and non-brides. And throughout those five years, I really enjoyed it. I even learned how to run my business. I hired a business coach, and I just really coach clients from the ground up, learning how they can jumpstart their health. And then I also started a podcast, Sweating for the Wedding, learning about wedding wellness because I saw a gap in that as well. There was no podcast dedicated to wedding wellness. And I started, I even had a women's wellness retreat in Bali September of 2019, and it was fantastic. But then I hit a plateau, and this is where I led to where I am today. I hit a plateau, and it woke me up. Basically, I started to notice that my confidence in nutrition coaching was hitting a plateau point, and I started realizing I want to go deeper, and I don't know more than this. My clients are doing great, but I want to go deeper. I want to really go deep and help them out to really losing more weight, or to help them really make a change in their health and medication. And a lot of them have already achieved that. But for me, in the back of my mind is, can we do more? Can I do more? And the answer is yes. So having coached clients from around the world and loving that support, I couldn't find the time because I was so busy. And then COVID hit. And I definitely needed a time in my coaching that there was a moment there was a pause. So the clients that I had, it was great, but I couldn't, and I did not feel right to take on any more clients, especially in the wedding industry with where everything was going on. So I took this time to just do some research, and I said, okay, I want to say, like, maybe this is a time to work on my nutrition. And I was going to do that, and then all of a sudden, right around the beginning of the time that we all experienced this pandemic start, I had a health complication. And it was just an accumulation of financial stress, accumulation of other stresses, but it led to a health complication, which some of you guys know what that was, as well as the people that are in my NTA class. You guys know what that is. And it really woke me up. And that really woke me up to realize, okay, now I've been helping my clients, my family members in health, but all of a sudden, with the complication I have, how can I help myself? And that was, again, a level that I wasn't deep in. So that was fantastic for me. And once I got better in my health, I really started to look up more nutrition schools. And so I did the research, I looked up schools, and I even had been looking at schools for 2 years on the side. So 2 years I was vetting out schools. I did not want to do a traditional 4-year program because I've been in engineering school for 9 years, and then I worked at NASA for 4 years, and I worked for corporate America for a couple of years. So I didn't want to just drop everything and go to school. I was just really busy, but I also didn't want to learn that traditional way, that old school way of nutrition. I wanted to learn the holistic way where we're bringing in my family roots and ancestral roots of how things were done back then and implement it to today, because those were really good habits that we had. We just kind of they filtered out throughout our generation. So holistic nutrition, again, goes to that point. So I did my research, and it wasn't until that one evening that I did my research, and I remember I was gonna go with one school that I was so hesitant about, but everyone raved about, and then I learned about another school where they did a comparison, and this one blogger talked about NTA and how you go deep into science, and I was like, that's what I'm looking for, something that is something that's science-based, that focuses on nutrition, and that's all it does, is focuses on nutrition, and it's in depth. So it is going to be a very intensive year for me. I'm not gonna lie, running 2 businesses and going to school is going to be a lot, but I feel ready for it. And it's just, I'm like, being who I am, I'm very analytical, vet out very well, filter out the BS, and see if this is good or not. I like to be very honest and authentic on my social media posts, so I like to share this with you and anyone else who's watching, to know that this is my journey, and I'm going to be doing this and I'm very excited to do this along the way. So I was like, this is it, we're gonna do it. So on September 4th, I registered for and applied, and it got accepted, and submitted my registration, on September 4th of 2020. So my goal is to really start planning a family, and not have any complications at this age of my life. And I really want to take my coaching business to another level, and coach my clients to know more about nutrition and fitness, but in a deeper scientific light than I've ever done before. Just taking it another notch, because the sky is the limit, and I feel like I hit a certain atmosphere and I want to go past that atmosphere. I want to add more value to my followers, people who want to get good content from me on social media and my podcast, Sweating for the Wedding. And that's the name of my podcast, by the way, Sweating for the Wedding podcast. Just love that show. Anyways, and also I want to know how to feel my body and take care of my body as I'm helping others. So, and then also my husband, he is my rock. I love him so much. And, I want to be able to be healthy for him, help him be healthy, continue to be healthy, because I have a high standard. And, nope. Okay. And we want to support the next generation. We are this generation of the next generation, but our kids are going to be the next generation. And so we want to take this time to really just take this. I want to take this time to use this opportunity as the next giant leap for us and for me. But also for the wedding, it's the brides and grooms. It's their first giant leap into a new chapter in their life, and their kids as another chapter. And might as well help them learn and use the tools they need to be successful in their marriage, health-wise and family-wise. Also, I want to find healthier substitutes for foods that I love and that not compromise taste. Plus, also, I'm Persian, like I mentioned before. I want to perfect my cooking techniques, in Persian cuisine. I have Persian pride. I'm a Persian American, first time in generation, and Persian cuisine is a big part of my life. It is a non-negotiable. I have to have that, and I love to just learn ways of explaining to people why this ingredient is good for you, why that ingredient is bad for you, what we need to do to kind of enhance the flavor more, because it is a passion of mine, both Persian and non-Persian cuisine. Food is food. I love food. I want to eat the right food. What is it? That's what I'm going to tell you about. And also, looking at my notes, and again, it all comes down to confidence. I want to speak more confidently about nutrition. And as an engineer, I speak really confidently about science, math, space. But on nutrition is something that I've been self-teaching myself through seminars and talking to experts and spending hours researching. And I honestly just got tired of it. I just really got tired of spending so much time confirming if this ingredient was better than that ingredient and why, after 5 hours of research. Okay, that's taxing on you. So, get straight to the facts, basically. And knowledge is key. It truly is key. And my goal is that. Plus, I want to one day, write a cookbook maybe on Persian cuisine. I don't know. We'll see. Help more people getting ready for their special day, whether it's an event, a milestone, or their wedding day. And also talk more about these things on my podcast. So those are the things that I wanted to share with you. I know I went a little longer than I expected, but this is my why, from where it started to where it led me to making me realize that I want to take advantage of the pause that we're facing these days in 2020. And it just felt right. It just felt so right. And I've been praying about it very, very hard. I know I'm going to be really, really busy, but I'm going to make the best of it to learn to retain. I'm going to share what I've learned in hopes that it will retain, in hopes it will build trust. And then also, this is my form of accountability. This is my way of validating, did I absorb it well? All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Stay active and keep going, and thank you so much for your time. Thanks. Bye.